Their appreciation. Right on. Free them all, justice for all. Free them all. Free them all. Right on. First and foremost, let me extend condolences to the Twin family, the Marley Graham family. Brother who just got gunned down by Chicago police literally a few hours back. Jamal Moore, 23 years old, on the south side of Chicago. Brother Bronson in Los Angeles, California. Also, Grant family, definitely. And I want to extend condolences and extend the clenched fist salute to the family out of Blueford. But now, right on. So now let's utilize this case, this campaign, as a tactic, as a tool to form some connection that transcends all colonial borders. Because the reality is, as oppressed people, we cannot afford the luxury to set trip. We can't get caught up in this particular situation. We got to take a position in spirit which Marcus Garvey said, one struggle, one people. And let me say, hey, that's my type of preaching, brother, right on. In the spirit of Reverend Nat Turner, praise the Lord, past definition, man. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. I'm fortunate to have fallen from the tree of two freedom fighters, that being that of Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton, and also that of McCoy and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson. And I represent an organization that we say we are ideological colors of Black Panther Party. A lot of people say, what's your fascination without staying connected to Oakland, California, being in Chicago? And I say, well, one of our mantras is we see ourselves as the great-grandchildren of Garvey, the offspring of Malcolm, and the ideological colors of Panthers. And we say Africa is the cradle of civilization. Oakland is the cradle of the black cat. So this is historical, talk. It's always an honor to be on this historical stomping ground in Oakland, California, the birthplace of the Black Panther Party, one of the most revolutionary organizations that North America has yet to witness. And many of you may be familiar with from whence I came, but Chairman Fred, my father, say I do a lot of talking a lot of times because they're out of foregone conclusions. My first contact with the American judicial system was literally before I got here. And my birth certificate was almost my death certificate. Leadership of Chairman Fred in Chicago, Illinois, a lot of the programs y'all probably heard about, probably been misinformed, believe that people like Reverend Jesse Jackson organized the Rainbow Coalition, was actually Chairman Fred organized the Rainbow Coalition. And I know we limited on time, but he was an extraordinary organizer. And under the vicious COINTEL program, acronym for Counterintelligence Program, he, as well as respective organization, he represented the Black Panther Party, and a lot of organizations and people in general were targeted by this vicious program that was created by the then director of the FBI, J. Blueford, and architected by the deputy director of the FBI, William Sullivan. And the government tried a number of different ways to take Chairman Fred from the streets. They tried to get a number of different, what we refer to as the unpoliticized street tribes. So it's a term we like to use as opposed to referring to as gangs. To reiterate what the sister pointed out earlier, our position was then, as today, the worst gang in Chicago is Chicago Police Department. The worst gang in Oakland, California is the Oakland Police Department, so on and so forth. The Chicago Police Department, under the tenure of then State's Attorney Edward V. Hennihan, was armed with a floor plan of the house in which Chairman Fred lay his head, a floor plan so detailed they even knew what pack of cigarettes would be inside his home. A floor plan that was provided to them by an informant, by an agent provocateur named William O'Neill. They had, the government took nothing to change. They had even, the YMCA had took a group of young brothers who had did loose security for the chairman around the house and sent them out of town on a winter retreat. Members of his staff were placed in isolation in the infamous Cook County Jail. Chicago Police Department, they came in Illinois Bell phone trucks. They had blocked the entire block off. They have pulled other occupants outside from out of their homes. And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about Afghanistan or cross seas nowhere. To on the west side of Chicago. Chicago police that came in, they immediately shot and assassinated then 22-year-old defense captain from Peoria, Illinois, Mark Clark. They continued to shoot. They shot and wounded other occupants of the home, including that of the Deputy Minister of Health, Ronald Dodd Satchel, Sister Rita Brewer, Sister China Dow. While the Chicago PDs continue to shoot in, the occupants were saying, stop shooting, stop shooting. We have a pregnant sister in here. And that pregnant sister that they were referring to was my mother-to-be. 18 years old, man in the bed with Chairman Fred and his wife, his comrade, who literally felt the shells come in through the mattress. They continued to shoot and acted in a move of defense. She literally tried to cover down the body of Chairman Fred. When the Chicago police had came in, they pulled out the room and they jammed a revolver to her stomach. And when I speak about it, I say I was not afforded the prenatal care. A lot of people was afforded having a doctor's stethoscope placed in their mother's pregnant belly. The first piece of steel that I had ever come into contact with was the Chicago Police Department's revolver. That was my first contact with the American judicial system. They proceeded inside the room. And I want to point out something the brother pointed out earlier about we got to be very clear that we don't have a subjective or reactionary response and limit this question of this attack on our people just to by white pigs. I want to point out that it was a Negro pig that came in that room too, James Gloves Davis. In fact, there were 4 Negro pigs on there. And we had to be consistent with our position, and we got to get out on Uncle Sam and Sam Ho. Real talk. Real talk. We got to be armed with a politics. We have to be armed with a politics to be able to expose the gringo and the Negro. With me? So he proceeded inside the room and they said he's barely alive, now he's barely making that. They fired several more shots, and those were the fatal shots that assassinated then 21-year-old Chairman Fred. To add insult to injury, they came out of the room and they jammed, as I said earlier, they jammed a pistol on mother's pregnant belly and told her she better not run. They locked her and the remaining survivors, they locked them up, gave them trumped up charges. And this is in true American district fashion, how America had a system gets down. It has the Machiavellian ability to flip the script to make the criminal appear to be the victim appear to be the criminal. So they charged them. Chicago Tribune and other propaganda tools by the state, they came out saying it was a vicious shootout. By the grace of God, Chicago police had survived. I was my mother's celly, locked up with my mother. And I tell people tell me, Chairman Fred, you need to cool out. You go to jail for what you out here doing. I tell you, I was locked up before I got here. So I was born 2.5 weeks later. My mother had just got on bond, had bonded out. And when I talk about this, it would be ideal that we can talk about this in some sort of nostalgic, abstract type of way, to how bad things used to be back in the 60s. But we continuously reminded, as with these cases here and the cases that on a day-to-day basis, that we are reminded that this case, in fact, we say police brutality is a euphemism. It's police terrorism. That's what it is. Because reality is whether we some cat with a PhD or some brother sister affiliated with some street organization. All of us, and it's embarrassing to admit this, because being oppressed is embarrassing. All of us, when the flashing lights come behind us, all of us experience that same sentiment of terror from the top of our heads to the tip of our toes. We don't know if we're going to get 40 shots in our back, or plunge and stuck up our rectum, or what the case is going to be, or if we're going to end up on death row somewhere locked up on a trumped up case. It was when Marvin Gaye said, this ain't living. And we like to say with the mantra of Alcoholics Anonymous, say the first step in addressing the problem is recognizing we have a problem. And we have to start being honest about this discussion, stop what we refer to as the sidetracking of the slave. What that means is, when the pigs got out on Rodney King, they had the community asking questions like, well, was he speeding or not? They have you sidetracked. We have to up the ante to take a position, a principled position, a confident position. Similar to that in response to Detroit, Michigan, when the pigs got out on Malice Green. And the state's response was, when we heard he was having cocaine. The people took a position that we don't care if he was having heroin, don't convict the pigs and see what would have happened. That's the type of position we have to take. Every day is September 11th for us. Every day is one form or another. Every day is September 11th. And we have to start understanding that, again, Black Panther Party said everything is political. I'm distinguishing politics from electoral politics, but everything is political. Words, terms, fashion. There was a big hoopla in the hip-hop arena when I called this modern-day Pied Piper in question, Sean Collins, we refer to him as Slave Z. About Fred Hampton died, we made it very clear, Chairman Fred was assassinated. We have to start using brutal terms for brutal realities. Brutal terms for brutal realities. Not gentrification, land grab. Not gentrification, land grab. Not somebody got locked up, they were kidnapped. Not a bond, but a ransom. Not police brutality, but police terrorism. And this ups the ante, so we can start having some more discussions. Call a question how these different entertainers and Pied Pipers can donate money to victims of September 11. We said, where's the victim of terrorism fund for these numbers? Huh? We can start drawing a correlation. Similar to that is how ministry between the Black Panther Party and the correlation from the troops in Vietnam. And so it wasn't no subjective response, but do this police mean well with an occupied army in our community? There's a war on our people, on the people. You must correlate those police cars to the tanks in Palestine. You must correlate the Cook County jail to the concentration camps. Again, these brutal drugs, brutal realities. I know you one more time. Again, in closing, everything is political. Everything is political. And in closing, we cannot afford the luxury to wait till election time, better yet selection time to come around. We cannot afford the luxury when Black History, wait till Black History Month. In fact, our position is that Black folks on the verge of becoming history. We must intertwine this in every discussion. We must up the ante. We got to tell these artists. There's too many of us insane saying for some cats. We talking about some bling bling. We must up the ante. Everybody got to play some role in this struggle. There's a difference between a war and a revolution. A war, it's two occupying armies, suit up and boot up and get out and get out. A revolution, you gain the minds of participation of the masses of the people. Everybody can play a role. Gonna have to play a role. Ain't no neutral position in this war that's being waged on the people. Power on the people. Justice for our people. Justice for all. Power.